Greetings, everyone, and a happy Thanksgiving. And welcome to my series, Illuminating 2020. And yes, I'm Kenzie Brown. And as you can see, I'm wearing a mask today. I want you to look into my eyes. So I'm going to get a little bit closer. Do you see the love I'm sending you? You know, our whole life has changed. And we're learning to adapt to so many different aspects. Now, I spent my Thanksgiving all by myself with Miss Tara Jade, my puppy, and I didn't have turkey. I decided I wanted to try something different. So I bought 2 Cornish game hens and stuffed them and cooked them in my Instant Pot, something I'd never done before. They were juicy and tender, and it was wonderful. Then I decided to try a new stuffing recipe that was not made with bread, but with tortilla chips, a provolone chili, jalapeno, and they called for that, they call that chorino sausage, but I used a mild Italian sausage. And it was so good, something really different, even though I was all by myself. They say your eyes are the windows to your soul. With our busy lives and all the cell phone work that everybody seems to be doing, people really don't engage and truly look at each other in their eyes. The masks are destroying so much of our expression that we used to rely on. We cannot see that expression, and our voices sometimes are muted because of the mask. Your eyes are a reflection of your identity and your true essence. Are you able to transmit love to another with your eyes? That's what we have to learn. They carry a silent power from within you. People are like beautiful hopes of diamonds. It's a priceless treasure that we may not appreciate until we no longer can see their faces and we're not able to hug their brilliant light. How are you accepting yourself as well as another? You may look at this time as a real opportunity to walk into that gateway or that portal of something brand new, to manifest the magic that's inside of you and not let that collective fear rob you of the magical essence. That's my beginning statement. I just wanted to explore that with you. Tickles my nose. Wearing a mask. So, now the month of November. It has been about healing and growth and harmony. To appreciate love, what is working for you. To love your own garden, your seeds that you plant, and the needs that matter to you. Those are so important. Don't let them slip away. For me, this month spoke loudly. Now let me explain. Since I was a wee little girl, and I can remember it occurring in kindergarten, I was a nurturer, a caregiver, a rescuer, and a savior. Those seem to always be my modus operandi. And I'm having to learn to stop and to look at me first. I had to stop long enough to become less codependent to make others better. In actuality, when that happens, I'm stealing their opportunity to learn whatever it is they need to learn by being their savior. As this year comes to a close, I have had to nurture my own garden And what are my real desires and needs? How am I going to move forward? So those are some of the questions that you might want to ask yourself between now and the first of next year. As a woman, how often do you place yourself last in order to put others first? You put yourself on that back burner, hoping eventually there will be time for you. It never happens. Let me explain a little something that I did learn at a young age. When I was pregnant with my first child, I realized in order to find time for myself, I had to get up another 45 minutes, sometimes an hour earlier, to fix my hair, put on my makeup, to get dressed, to organize everything, and then wake up the family. That way, I received whatever was of greatest importance to me. If I waited and did it along with everybody else, there was no time. I was frustrated, and that fell over into my family. I'm hoping you eventually have come to realize the focus on others is possibly, just possibly, a way of sabotaging your own self. That is something I had to learn about myself. Did it have something to do with my self-worth? Did it have something to do with learning to receive? You get into a rut of doing things a certain way for so long that it's hard to break that momentum and take a different approach. If you're really honest with yourself and you've done some very deep, deep work on your own being, on your own personal being, this might be a wake-up call for you to love, to honor, and to value yourself, as well as those that you care so much for. But you have to be first, and then there's plenty of room for everybody else. This month has brought us great change and clarity. So many of us have been living in a survival-based society. And that's one of fear and greed and lack, control, and most importantly, separation. Remember, over the last couple months, we've been talking about masculine and feminine and bringing those energies together to bring greater balance and greater healing. Well, the masculine energies have really forgotten their true nature, and they base their control on fear and survival. If we bring that feminine energy in to support them, it will also help Mother Earth return to patterns of greater perfection and not separation, which we are so full of right now. I can see this as beginning. It's starting, but it is being slowly implemented. It is going to take time. More people need to get on board for that. Now, many people are on what I call a learning curve, and they're adjusting to the way of being that is in line with their spirit self. It's a blending of both the male and female energies. So much has been revealed to us and to humanity this year especially, and there's more to come. Let me tell you, next year will also. But I am hopeful that that fear is no longer holding you back on many levels. Learning to be compassionate toward ourselves, toward others and individuals, as well as humanity as a whole. One of the many gifts feminine energy offers is the gift of intuition. It is our natural inner knowing. It can connect us to the wisdom that is within our heart, and it is a voice of our spirit, your spirit self, your higher self. This month gave us an opportunity to strengthen our intuitive gifts just by being mindful being in the present moment, trusting, listening to the words of advice that are coming through just for you. The universe has a rhyme and it has a reason for everything. And I believe they're gently pushing us to new levels in our life. This is a month of clarity and resolution. Humanity is kind of on a tipping point. Large shifts of energy tend to put people into survival mode because they don't understand. And then, of course, there are those that have no concept as to what's really going on. They don't get it. It's just not there in their modus operandi. So many are wishing for the old to return and what we used to know. That is not going to ever happen. We cannot go backwards in time. You can only either stay stagnant or move forward. Then, of course, there are others who are adapting to change and being extremely creative. What are you doing as maybe you're an individual like myself and you live alone? What do you do to fill your time? What are the resources you're doing to maybe be supportive to other people, or to have Zoom chats or WhatsApp chats, things like that? Are you reading special books that will broaden your vision, give you greater observation of the life that's around you? The more you are able to adapt, the greater harmony will be resolved. We are all learning to be aware of our personal space. Now, let me elaborate in a few ways about personal space. We all need to learn to set boundaries. Boundaries are challenging. They were for me. I didn't learn to do that until later in life. And it's not setting the boundaries. It's what you do when somebody breaks them. That's the biggest challenge. The virus is different than anything we've ever experienced on this planet. Trust, big capital letters, on our planet has not completely established itself yet. Many light workers like myself and those of you who are listening are creating a bubble or an energy field around humanity. This protects your physical bodies. As a collective, everybody is put in that barrier, that domain. If your heart, or if the heart of humanity rises, the vibration increases, then less struggle and less judgment and anger. I believe then is when the virus will pass, as hope, compassion, and love build new energies all around you. Now, to add to all of this and our lack of personal connection due to the mask and distancing, technology has expanded to where they know us from all our personal information and what motivates us. We are dealing with a war of the internet. Now, if you think about it, hacking has occurred between countries. Unheard of 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We also have companies that are well protected that are being hacked. People that are in higher government officials and things of that sort, they're being hacked, as well as you and I, and our personal space is being hacked. I suggest, or I recommend, that society spend less time on the internet. Keep in mind that if the product you are using on the internet is free, now listen to this, your actions are actually the real product. Your behavior, information will be sold to others to create an alternative reality. and having an effect on altering you and your behavior. YouTube put out a story, a YouTube story. Now I'm sorry I can't remember it, but it's a documentary on, or maybe it was on Netflix, excuse me, it was on Netflix. And it talked about all the creators who had done Instagram and YouTube and TikTok or whatever you call that, and as well as the internet. They had intentions, but their intentions got expanded and sent out in a way that uses people to their benefit. And for that, a lot of those higher people who created this have left the companies because it's not following a path that they honor. So that's just a very personal approach to thinking beyond your limits. I've spent a lot of time talking and reading with like-minded people, and I feel the thing that's missing the most in this viral situation is common sense. We will solve this if we use common sense. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be extremely logical and intelligent. Just use your common sense. We need to master this collectively. How are we alike rather than focusing on our differences? Times are shifting extremely rapidly, more rapidly than you are aware of. What you experience today is over and done with tomorrow because something new is taking its place. Make love as your focus point when making your choice. I'm not telling you what to do. I am just giving you a perspective from which to lovingly make your choices that are for your highest good. Your spiritual growth is around your reflection and your resistance to change. This is all in great preparation for the year 2021. Now, 2021 is going to be an incredibly monumental year of change. Now, you thought this year was horrific and awesome. I can't give you specifics. They aren't sharing that with me, but I'm getting the information that this is what's coming down the pike. So I recommend that you spend more time thinking about your desires, your needs, implementing them, and putting them out there. I don't want you to forget, tomorrow, November 30th, Monday, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini. Sometimes an eclipse can feel as if the universe is pushing our acceleration button. Slow down, it's too fast. Remember I told you about my dizziness? I have to tell them, don't give me so much so fast, slow it down. Look at this time, tomorrow night, as an opportunity to open the doors for yourself. Put what you need into action. The knowledge that you receive. What small change can you make in your day-to-day life to make each day more special? Be that priceless treasure of hope as we bring this year, 2020, to a close. Next month is going to be my last transmission. I made a contract with the universe that I would do this for a year. I probably am the one that got more out of it than anybody else. I don't think there have been too many followers listening, but it doesn't matter. Maybe I touched one person's life and made a difference. My whole idea was to give you a different perspective of what really is happening and let you choose and develop and expand on that yourself. I don't know what holds for me. Usually by the end of November, I start having glimpses of what the next year will be, because my birthday's the end of January. And a couple months beforehand, I usually get insights. I'm not really getting that. I have no clue what's in store for me. What's my next direction? What is it that I need to be learning or sharing for humanity? So I hope you all had a grateful and blessed Thanksgiving, even though it was different. And I will see you next month. Be well, be safe, and remember, find a little piece of joy every day. So when you put your head on that pillow, you know that something awesome happened today. Maybe it was somebody in the grocery store that said something really positive to you. Just made your day. Hold on to that. Don't let it fall away. Own it. Receive it. And embellish it by paying it forward to someone else. Until next month, have a wonderful Christmas. I may not see you until between Christmas and New Year's. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. I never know all the information, if I've got it all, when I'm supposed to give this. Unfortunately, this is next to the last day. It'll be posted probably tomorrow, the last day of the month. But take what you need, let it serve you. I know I love and I honor each and every one of you. Until next month, hold tight. Blessings. See you again. Toodles.